Hey guys, welcome back to the Alone Together podcast,
Where
the
the
loners
loners
aren't
aren't
alone. I'm Layla,
I'm Journey.
and today we are going to be reflecting on 2022 with the new year coming in and talking about what we want to do in 2023 and how you can do the things that you want to do and be the person you want to be in 2023.
Period.
So,
We're going to go
Journey,
into some good reflection.
yes.
Because we got to reflect, y'all.
Yeah, I think reflection is the first step in like becoming the person that you want to be in 2023, because you have to look back on the things that happened in 2022 and understand what you want to change about yourself. So with that being said, what are some of the biggest takeaways from 2022 for you, Journey?
I'll start with number one. So my main thing, well, I'm not going to say my main thing, but I think a huge thing that first came to mind was letting go of expectations. And like, I really mean like dropping every single expectation. Like, I don't expect SHIT from anyone or anything at this point, not even myself. Like, and I know that probably sounds crazy, but in a lot of spiritual teaching books that I've read, that's a huge principle. But when we say it, I mean, like, in my eyes, expectations is just like future disappointment, because what I expect from someone is not their mind. Like, they're not expecting they don't know what I'm expecting of them. And only one I can really have expectations for is myself. But even then, it's like, I need to just be focusing on being better and outdoing myself instead of expecting myself to get here. Because sometimes I think when we expect too much from ourselves, we're putting deadlines on ourselves. But this life stuff has no deadline. Like, stuff is just gonna happen when it is meant to happen. You gotta think divine timing, not earth timing. And so, especially with other people, I feel like it's just so easy to get let down when you expect from people. Like, you, like I said before, what I expect out of someone is not probably what they expect, or do they even know I have expectations for them? That's a whole nother thing. So I think that's huge. And I feel like a lot of times this year I was just let down by people. Like I was expecting so much from them and then it just wasn't delivered. Or I was hoping that they would act a certain way or return something, but it's just not how life works. Like, you got to do stuff not expecting nothing in return.
Definitely. And I think a huge thing, like you were saying, with expectations is most of the time they're not communicated. So really, how can you expect someone to do something that you didn't even communicate with them?
I was literally thinking that, like, one of my teachers in my class was saying how, like, she used to get so upset with her husband because he would never do the dishes or something like that. And she was like, but how am I going to get upset at him? And I ain't even told him that makes me upset. Like, yeah. You got to advocate. If you have an expectation, like, you need to tell them before it happens. And even then, you got to expect for it not to be met. I think. You just, I don't know, avoiding disappointment. Like, I don't like to feel disappointed, so I'm going to just not expect nothing from no one and hope for the best.
Yeah, I definitely
sounds depressing, but it'll save you a lot of stress and feelings of disappointment.
I think 2021 was my year of disappointment. 2022, I don't even know how I would describe it. So many emotions. But I think my biggest takeaway from this year was just finding balance in everything, balance between like your personal life and your career, balance between preparing for the future and being present. Just balance in every part of my life, especially spiritually. I want to be like a balanced person. I think everything has like a polar opposite. So just kind of being neutral and in between and not letting things affect you. I think that helps a lot also with disappointment. And just if you're really balanced, you'll feel those things, but it's easy to come back to baseline.
I think that was a huge thing for me last year, like balance, because I remember getting to college and I was like, I just remember thinking like, I have no balance in my life. Like, everything is just out of sorts. Like, back home, I had like a routine and I felt like okay. And then I just started to realize like when I'm out of balance is when I'm my worst. Like that's when everything just starts to fall apart. And so I had to start like implementing all the things that I think bring me balance, like working out, meditating, journaling. I don't know, but balance is huge because when you're out of balance is when you're anxious, you're depressed.
Yeah.
All that.
And balancing your chakras and
Facts.
stuff like that.
Facts. It's important. Balance is hella important, actually.
Yeah.
And I think that's not something that people think about a lot. And they don't really weigh all the different options that like come with it. Like they wonder why they're feeling like a certain way, but they don't really see like all the factors that are contributing to it.
Yeah, and also like if you're feeling a certain type of way, it can really affect your health.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading this book, and this lady, her husband had committed suicide, and she like constantly relived it, and she was stressed so much about it that her central nervous system started breaking down, and then she got like cancer and a tumor. But through meditation and changing her mindset, she was almost completely cleared of all of her medical issues.
See, that just made me think, I wish I was into my spirituality and meditation as a child, because I remember my mom got like a stomach ulcer from too much stress. But that's like so much stress for it to actually affect you like that. That's crazy.
It's like reliving it every day is stressful.
Yeah, that's a real imbalance right there. But yeah, okay. So another huge thing for me this year was or a theme of mine was release.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I think that that's something I'm still gonna have to work on the rest of my life, and I think everybody do, because it's hard to just let it go. But it happens eventually. But it's a process for real. But I think that like I'm such a loyal person that letting go of people is my problem.
Yeah,
like or my setback, or because I don't want to see the friendship go to waste, and after I put all the work in, or I don't want to see the relationship go to waste when I know like I care. But sometimes it is not reciprocated. And sometimes that thing that you're not releasing is what's holding you back from propelling you into something new. Like, I remember this year I released someone, and I swear the whole month and a half after that, everything started picking up in my life. Everything started happening the way I wanted it to. Like, everything just started to flow like how I had been wanting. And I just remember thinking like, dang, that's all it took. Like, but that's real.
It
like,
really is.
Like that releasing someone, the cycle, like we were talking about last episode, getting out of the cycle, releasing the negative energy, releasing whatever, like you got to do it, because once you release it is the minute it either flows back to you or stuff starts flowing. And I mean, not even releasing in the term of like letting go. I mean, like, let's say I have a goal to do something and I release it out into the universe. Once I release it, I let it go. It always comes back. I feel like you have to really release it and let it go in order for it to just work out.
I think it goes hand in hand with what we were saying about disappointments, because when you're talking about releasing things, I think you shouldn't really be attached to anything. You shouldn't be attached to a goal. It shouldn't define you. You shouldn't be attached to a person. And definitely when you're holding on to a relationship because of time, it can be holding you back, because like you're trying to hold on to this person so bad because you've known them for so long, but they're not aligning with your path, and like you guys are on two separate paths, but you're trying to hold on and there's nothing there.
What did he say in church yesterday?
He said, you're not in alignment with my assignment.
Yeah, facts.
And people aren't in alignment with your assignment. Even if you've known them for super long, it doesn't matter. But and you definitely shouldn't be, like, I think not putting expectations on things helps you release that feeling of being attached to it, or being attached to
attachment is
a
deep.
person.
Attachment, I think, is huge. Like, it's inevitable to develop attachment to people, to things, but like we got to detach. We got to try to not be attached to everything. Connected but not attached.
Yeah.
Because attachment is drainage.
Yep. I think for me, letting go of people was huge this year. Letting go was like my second biggest thing this year. And also just
letting... You did it, and I'm proud of you.
Yes.
For
and letting go of things that are causing my suffering. I think I'm very aware of the things that cause my suffering. So just letting go of those things, or letting go of those places, and not putting myself in those situations anymore.
Facts. That's, yeah, facts. Okay, so another huge theme of mine this year was loss. Like, I know I touched on that a lot the last episode, but like, when I say that, I mean like shifting my perspective of it. Like, not, I feel like this year was like broken into like categories for me. It was like the first 2 months, then it was like March and April, then it was the summer, and then it was the fall, and now we're here. And I feel like each period I lost something, or like something significantly changed, but in a way of loss. And it sucked. It sucked a lot, but I was just like, you know what? This is for a very significant reason. Like, this is for a reason beyond me. I don't know why, like, these people are exiting my life, or these friendships, relationships are shifting so much, but it's growth. Like, as I grow and get better and get to the next point in my life, like, not everybody's going to be at that point as well. And I'm just blessed that, like, my close friends, we are like growing together, and like we accept and ride this journey together. But some people it ain't gonna be like that. Like, we're in that position right now. I think that we're losing friends. We're becoming ourselves, and our parents went through it, and they're just watching us go through it like they did. But we are really in that transformative period, and I just had to look at it like that. Like, I'm just transforming, and it's not that it's a bad thing that I'm losing them. It's just necessary.
Yeah,
it just needs to happen. It's part of the release.
Mm-hmm. And it's part of learning and experiencing. Like, I feel like I didn't let go, and I held on for like a long time, and there was only one lesson that I needed to take away from that situation. So when you keep holding on, you're missing that one lesson, and then you're only experiencing this person. You're putting energy into this person that could be going into something else and learning a different lesson and growing. And that's how it hinders your growth, because you're constantly going back to this cycle and not just like releasing it.
Facts.
But yeah, loss is huge. And I think loss can be more than just like losing a person. It
can be internal too.
It could be internal, and you could just, I don't know, things shift in life, and maybe you stop doing one thing that you love and open up a new chapter, and that could be a form of loss too.
Facts. I think when I say internal, I mean like loss of habits, bad habits. Like learning what works for me, what don't work for me was interesting this year, because a lot of stuff was revealed to me, but it's like a work in progress. Like, I still got to work at it, but yeah, eye-opening for sure.
My next point was just consistency and discipline. I touched a lot on this last episode, but I think consistency and discipline go hand in hand. If you want to be consistent in something, you have to have discipline. And if you want to grow as a person, you have to have discipline. Every time that you go back to a negative cycle or do something that you're not supposed to be doing, feeding your ego in negative ways, then you're hindering your growth, or you're taking a step back, and it just doesn't help you grow in the long run. And I think you know it, and you feel guilty about it. So
for real,
I think that discipline every day is something I'm still working on, but it's definitely one of my biggest goals coming in this next year. I want to be on the schedule. I want to have discipline with my growth, and like,
what do you mean
not stray away? Like, not stray away when it comes to like meditating every day or just mindfulness in general. That was another one of my points. Just being mindful in every situation, mindful breathing, mindful walking, mindful driving, being mindful when I'm in social settings. I think that's the kind of growth that I'm going towards. So I want to be disciplined on that journey and getting there.
Facts. I think discipline, I don't know how I didn't think about that, but that was huge for me. I feel like a lot of times, like a lot of my friends always tell me I'm really disciplined, but I didn't really feel like that. Like, but maybe I'm just hard on myself, which I am, but I feel like I really needed to be disciplined when it comes to working towards my future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm at the point where I have all the resources right in front of me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm meeting so many different cool people at school. There's so many resources at school in LA, period. Like, I just need to get focused. Maybe not discipline, but focus for me. And like taking the time away from like the fun
Mm-hmm.
and being disciplined and putting the work in.
That's a huge thing. And I think just the fun, me and my therapist were talking about how different types of events will be in your memory longer and they're more fulfilling. And like going out isn't as fulfilling as taking a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about, because I'm going to Japan for Christmas, how like that's going to be a long lasting memory because you remember, you're going to be excited every day going up to Japan. And when you come back, you're going to be thinking about it. And I think a lot of times, like I last year probably went out or did something fun when I could have been working on like the future or doing something more important. And it wasn't even a fulfilling night or like fulfilling event. And I'm just tired of that in this next year. Like,
yeah,
it's the worst when you go out and it's not fulfilling.
I got so sick of that this year with us. Like every time we go out and it was a failed mission, like why?
Like,
why did I even do it?
Yes, exactly. And it literally be for no reason. So that just gotta go.
I feel that. And I just, for some reason, the way I thought about it was like athletes. Like they got to put the work in for real to get to the next level. They didn't just get to college, you know, they had to work extra hours like nobody else. But think about all the millionaires out there. Think about all the people who are successful. Like they separated themselves and put that extra work in and sacrifice. Maybe I feel like that's going to be a huge theme for me next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 2023, I really want to just like take the time to like separate myself from stuff that I know ain't gonna really benefit me. Not to say I'm not gonna have fun and I'm not gonna go out. I'm still young.
And there's still ways to have fun.
Yeah.
Without going out.
My fun nowadays is
a botanical
it's just
garden.
with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to encounter like a million different energies no more. I did it.
And it was
and I hated
never that fun.
I hate the club. So
it was only fun when we were in our own world. So
exactly. When it was just us, it was still only fun. So what's even the point at the end of the day? But sacrificing and focusing, I feel like I gotta take the time this year in 2023 to just do.
And I think it's easy when you think about it in that way. It's like, what's more fulfilling? Going out now a couple times and it's a failed mission and you don't even have fun, or making those sacrifices and then you get to be the millionaire when you're out of college and people are still trying to go out for cheap thrills.
And I just feel the difference in myself. Like in Arizona back home, like I said in the last episode, I did not go out. Like I would literally just meditate for an hour and watch TV, call it a night. Like that was my everyday. But out here, like this summer, especially 2022 summer, just going out like 2-3 times a week, like, you know, I feel like I missed out a lot in the school year, so I was trying to make it all up in the summer. But then I started to realize, like, I'm still working on myself, but I don't feel like myself. Like, I don't feel like the highest vibration that I could be, that I know I've been at before. Like, I'm lowered right now because I'm around, lower vibrational people.
Yeah.
You are who you surround yourself with, for real. So.
And when you take yourself out and you're not going out and you see those people that are going out, it's like, dang, like that's all we had in common. Like that's sad. All we had in common, and it's really sad. But sometimes you need that reality check. Like,
facts.
But for us, it comes easy because it's like, I gotta go back to school. I gotta go back to work. Like, this is not. I can't do this every day. Even if I wanted to, I literally can't do this every day.
I can't. I can't even do it. Like, I can do it once a month, maybe.
The summer is all we got. Like, y'all had us, but it's over now.
My birthday weekend was my reality check.
It was mine too.
I had fun, but it was pointless. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I look back, like, it was pointless. Not to say my birthday was pointless, but that was pointless. I had fun though, but it was crazy. It just made me wake up like, why? It ain't gonna work no more.
Yeah.
This ain't for me.
Day 3, I had to pull out the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was crazy. Oh gosh. Okay. My next theme for this year was it was forgiveness, because I feel like going back to the loss, like, as much as once I let it go, I found myself still upset when I would see them, or like still upset when I would think about the situation, or still bothered by it. So was I really letting go? And then I realized, you know what? I just haven't forgave them / myself. You got to forgive yourself first before you can forgive anyone. But I think that you're just going to prolong the suffering if you don't forgive them. You have to really fully in your heart be like, you know what? I forgive them. And one of the things I wrote down for this was this scripture I have tatted on me, but it's Luke 23:34, and it's, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And it just is my daily reminder. Like, these people are so unaware. Like, they are hurting people or whatever the case may be, but they don't even know. And I just have to forgive them and move on, because that's the least I can do. The least I can do is release a positive vibe towards them, or express love and forgiveness towards them, because they don't even know the impact they had on me. Like, I think about this one individual this year that was just like a constant cycle for me, a bad cycle. And it's like, one day I was just, that's when I got the tap, but I just realized, like, they don't even know. Like, they don't even know the impact they're having on me. They don't know what actions they're doing that's making me sad, making me upset. And I was just like, as much as I may inform them, they may not get it, because they're just unself-aware and don't take the time to be like, maybe I am doing that. They just, tell you what you want to hear. But you have to really forgive those people and those situations, and yourself for putting yourself through those situations, but also forgive them and let them know, like, you can move on and it still be okay. Like, don't move on from the situation with ill feelings, because then you're not moving on.
Exactly. And I think that you don't always have to let someone know when you forgive them. And forgiveness can be for yourself. For me, that was a huge thing.
I think it is for
you
yourself.
Don't even realize that the reason you're feeling angry in a different situation is because you haven't forgiven this person. And that's why I seriously cannot have any ill feelings towards anyone. And I think that when people still have ill feelings towards me, it's really sad, because it's like, dang, just move on. Like,
you're the one holding on.
You're holding on, and it's like, I'm over here trying to
send the suffering.
And like you said, the least you can do is send positive vibes, because it's like, I see that you're really hurting internally because you're still holding on to this, and I literally have no ill feelings towards you. And sometimes they don't even realize it, but you just sending positive vibes to them can really maybe help them.
It can really help. I truly believe, when I used to meditate, I would envision myself sending frequencies to people. And I truly think it makes a difference. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but I just feel like you have to do it. Because who else?
I've realized that people that used to hold ill feelings towards me, by me literally letting go of the situation and just having positive vibes towards them, they're able to actually be kind of kind to me. Even if they are still angry, they can still be kind to me, which is good. And I think it does come from that. You can literally see it working.
You really have to just be the good, I feel like, because who else can do it? And if you see them still being petty towards you and weird, or if they still don't even know what they did to you, it's like, well, at least you have the satisfaction and the okay inside of you of releasing them and getting over it. Because, like I said, it's just going to prolong your suffering. It's just going to make it harder for you to even be around and or open yourself up to others.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to understand people. Like, that's why mental illness is crazy, because you could literally have a mental illness that prevents you from seeing, like, having clarity on yourself. Mm-hmm. That's what mental illness is. It could prevent you from having clarity on yourself. So sometimes just having that understanding of someone and knowing, like, they will never understand what they did to you, mm-hmm. but you forgive them for that because you know it's not their fault.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a huge thing for me. Like, I just had to realize, it's a product of how people are raised. I was going to put that as one of my themes, but I'll get to that later. But like how people are raised, you don't know how the tendencies they saw as a kid. You don't know the trauma they've been through. You don't know what they're battling that they're not telling you. Like, I don't know why they're treating me like this, but
most of the time it has nothing to do
with
you.
It has nothing to do with me. So I just gotta pray for them, forgive them for whatever they did, and just move on, because I'm not going to be stressing. And a huge thing I told myself this year was, how am I gonna walk into a better situation of my life if I'm holding on to what happened in the past? And how am I gonna be in a relationship dwelling on a past one? That don't even make sense. I have to forgive them and let it go so I can move on. So I can actually like walk into what's meant for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. With that being said, one of my next points was coming into everything with a clear mind. So
period.
Exactly what you were just saying. Like, if you haven't forgiven someone and you're still dwelling on the past, how can you come into a situation with a clear, free mindset? And I think that holds you back from a lot of things too. It could be something as simple as you're going into an interview for a job, but you just got denied for a job, and now you're thinking, oh, what if I don't get this one? And then you're negative and the interview doesn't go as well. So I think that's a huge thing for me, just letting go of past relationships and past events and not letting them carry over into the present moment, and being as present as possible so that you're going as hard as you can in that moment and setting yourself up for the best opportunities.
Facts. Like I said last episode, you can't replay the past. You just gotta, like you said, a clear mind, an open mind. Open mind. I think a lot of people aren't open minded.
Yeah.
The people are really closed minded, and it's hard to be around. It's hard to do anything with someone who's closed minded, because how are you going to be closed-minded in a world that has a million different things?
It's full, like, I feel like one of the biggest things, at least in my life, and when I think one of the biggest purposes of life is to just obtain as much knowledge as you can about this world that we live in, because we're only here once. So I don't understand how people wouldn't want to learn about other people and come to a common understanding, or at least learn about something that you're interested in. I just really don't understand that. And it's with people like us, if you're not learning or trying to gain knowledge on something, eventually you're going to be out of alignment with our assignment.
And I just think that people like be so focused on one thing in their life. Like when they identify their gift or their talent, quote unquote, early on, and they dedicate themselves to that, it's like how you go about life just knowing that, or like just doing that. Like there's so much out there, and our life is like, to me, a million different lives in one. Like
it is.
Each stage of our life, each decade is a whole different life. Like my 20s, I could be doing one thing. My 30s, I could be doing another. 40s, etc. And it's like I gotta be willing and able to receive different things and adapt to different things. If you just know one thing, you gonna be lost in the world.
Even if you have one specific talent and you know that's what you want to do, any talent that you have can be strengthened by learning about different things.
Facts.
If your talent
and
is
raising
writing,
your consciousness.
If your talent is writing, it's going to be strengthened by you reading about different books, doing research on different movies, or just knowing about like history and stuff like that. And I think that goes for anything. If you're a sports person, learning about health, learning about physics, learning about all that is going to help you in your sport. And
True.
I think when you're really dedicated to something, you will seek out that knowledge.
That's true.
And if you don't, that's ego.
Facts. Facts. That is so true. Not wanting to expand your mind is ego.
It is, because you think you have all the knowledge, but how can you think that way? So many people have done it before you. So many people.
And the best are knowledgeable. The best are conscious. The best have dived into different things in life and experimented with different things. Facts. Open-mindedness is huge for me because I know I'm an open-minded person, and I know I like to learn people. I feel like people are my biggest teacher.
Definitely.
Just in having a conversation. I used to be the person who
definitely,
who just wouldn't. I don't care to talk to nobody in the room. I don't care to meet nobody new. But now I want to. I want to get to know new people because they life probably crazy. They've been through some stuff. They may be have a cool profession that I want to dive into one day. How are you going to know if you don't talk? How are you going to know if you don't put yourself out there? I get the whole antisocial thing because I'm an introvert, but this year I really had to step outside my comfort zone because when I was going through all that loss and losing friends and stuff, I was just yo, I really don't know anybody at this school. There's cool people in my class and I don't even know them. I don't even care to want to know them because I was so dwelling in the fact that I got to know these people and they hurt me. So I'm just going to avoid it forever. But that's so dumb, honestly. I get why people think that because I was in that position for half the year. But eventually I had to just tell myself bro, you got to put yourself out there or else you're going to be miserable. Mm-hmm. You're making yourself miserable. And I am thankful for someone who came into my life and showed me that and was taking me to different events on campus and opened my eyes. You know what? There are cool people. There are cool things to do and circles that I do fit in. I don't have to be besties with everyone, but it is nice to just put myself out there and not be the one who be lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
that was huge for me.
That's a big thing too. Learning, when I said stopping cycles that cause your suffering, it could be you causing your own suffering. So you have to that's a really deep thing that comes from meditating as well. But just understanding what you're doing to cause your own suffering and stopping those habits internally.
Mm-hmm. It took a rude wake up call for me to realize that my mother.
But her name was Tanisha.
She called me out on it, and I'm thankful for it because I had to hear the harsh truth, and I had to hear out loud that, you know what, I am the one making this worse for me at this point. And I remember she told me, she was like, Journey, they aren't thinking about you no more. You're the one thinking about it. And I was you got me.
Yeah.
You right.
And it's you can't say, I went through that phase too when I had a bad friend experience in school, and then I was everybody's weird, so I'm out of here. And then when you come back to it, it's dang, how is everybody weird and you're just the only cool person in a school of 40,000 people? And then it's
at that point,
all right, maybe I was tripping. It's
I know
cool
I'm
people
dramatic.
at this school. It was just a couple weird ones.
I know I'm dramatic, but
yeah, it is a dramatic.
I'm dramatic.
Scorpios.
Yeah.
Very dramatic. But I was exactly the same way. But I was so extreme about it. I was I can't talk to nobody. Everybody knows. Nobody cares about you.
Nobody's thinking about
Nobody
you.
cares.
Literally, you just gotta push through, do it, and grow.
Exactly. And
it made me grow a whole lot.
Growth is a huge thing this year, but I want to talk about how we plan on growing in 2023.
I wasn't done.
Oh, go ahead.
I have one more point because it was really, really huge for me this year, and I'm still really working on it. But before we get into that, my last point was that I really had to learn how Or what I wrote down is that no one's going to know how you feel if you don't say it. And advocating for my feelings, like, I feel like I have this weird tendency to just like assume everybody knows how I'm feeling, or like everybody can read my vibe, or like when I'm bothered, everybody knows, but they may know, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
Or someone can tell I'm upset, but they don't know why. But that took me so much, honestly, putting aside my ego and just being able to tell somebody like, you did this and it bothered me. Or I don't like when you do this, because they're just going to keep doing it.
You have gotten better at that, though, I will say, because it'll be like something small that I didn't even notice. And it'll be like, sorry, I had an attitude earlier. I just like spilled my coffee or something. I'm like, I wasn't even paying attention. But
yeah, I had to really just speak up for myself. Like, I don't want to, I think it was a problem of me not wanting to like be a burden onto others and like, you know, whatever. But that at one point I was just like, I'm literally driving myself insane by wanting them to apologize, let's say, but they don't even know that they need to apologize. Like, it was just so counterproductive. So I was like, you know what, I need to just use this vocal box of mine and let them know, like, no matter what happens, because their reaction is going to let me know a whole lot as well.
Yeah.
If they're receptive, that tells me how they see me. And if they're not, like, okay, I know how I need to move now.
Yeah, and it could even be small things, because I think when you constantly let that build up with the small things, when it's a big thing, you're just going to explode. You're bound to explode, and then you like kind of start resenting the person because you wanted them to apologize for all these things and they never did, but it's the same thing as expectations.
Literally. Exactly. But yeah, make sure y'all advocate for yourself.
Just say how you feel, especially when it's something big to you.
Facts. Okay, now you can ask the question.
So, how are you going to grow, and what do you plan on doing to become the person you want to be in 2023?
Well, like I said earlier, sacrifice and discipline more than ever. Like, I just want to separate and just do. Like, I want to start doing all the ideas I have, because I have the resources. I just need to execute. Execution is huge, I think, for 2023. Like, I know what I want to do, so I just need to do it. And I have the resources now, like to travel. I can afford to travel now, so I'm going to do that because I can do that, and I'm old enough to do it without my parents, and doing the community things that I want to do. I'm so excited for this one idea I have, but I ain't gonna spoil it. But something I've been really looking forward to, the podcast growth. Like, I just want to start putting the work in and seeing the fruition of my work, because it's not just going to happen. Like, everything that I want to take off is not just going to take off. Like, I gotta sacrifice, and I gotta put that work in. That's what I want to do this year, is just put the work in and be disciplined with my spending. That may be so cliche, but I'm serious. Like, I really want to just be disciplined and manage better, because now that I have the resources, I gotta save it and not just go crazy like I once wanted to as a kid. Now that I can get the stuff that I always wanted, it's like, do I really want it, or do I really need it? Like, can it wait? Can I put that money towards a trip? Can I put that money towards my business? Can I put that money towards the podcast? Not just some crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What about you?
Pretty much the same things, but I think it's a little different since I'm graduating this year. So
that's crazy.
It's gonna be like,
that's crazy.
I kind of know. I have an idea of what I want to do already, but I know I'm going to be traveling for a little bit after I graduate, and I think that time is going to be very influential to me.
What do you hope to achieve in your traveling post-graduation? Because I know you're looking forward to being gone for some months.
Yes. So I'm going to be just out of here, out the country, other part of the world. I don't know where yet, but for like 4 months. And I think that's just going to be my time before I have to come back and be an adult, get a full-time job, and really go into society, just to have some clarity on what I want to do and make sure I'm going into the right path.
Are you gonna work while you're out the country?
Probably not. I'm probably just gonna be freelancing, but that's just gonna be like a real growth period for me and growing into what I want to be. And like I said, clarity and a break for the first time in my life, a break from school. No school, no work, just a break, figure myself out because it's really crazy to me that we've been in school our whole lives, literally our whole lives. So that's going to feel like the hugest release, even though I probably am going back to school. Even I probably will be applying to law school as soon as I get back. But, just having those couple of months where I don't have to worry about anything is going to be really nice. I'm really excited.
Period. I was thinking while you were saying that, like, if I were to do that post-graduation, I want to, but I don't even know what I would do. Like, I would have to go somewhere where I think I have access to a bunch of countries because I don't know what I would do on a daily, Like, like, I'm so used to a schedule that I don't know. Like, I feel like I would want to find a job because I don't know what I would do.
I don't know. It's fun in different countries. You could go out and surf, walk around, go to a little restaurant, $2.
True.
There's so much to do in different countries. Hikes, True. All types of stuff. It's way more.
My anxiety is always thinking what to do, what to occupy my day with.
I used to do dumb stuff when I was in Costa Rica, like throwing shovels, just finding random stuff to do, like bored, but it was fun.
Period. Yeah, 2023, I feel like it's just going to be a great year for me because I went through it in 2022. Like, I just feel like as much as I went through this year, how could it be bad again?
I'm superstitious, so I don't want to say that it's going to be a great year because I've said that every year and we see how they turn out. So we're just going to say 2023 is going to be neutral and see what happens.
I'm dead. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel good. Yeah.
We're going to start out 2023 in a different country, so that's going to be great.
That's lit. Yeah, that's lit. I'm excited. I think last year, as weird as it sounds, I didn't go into the new year with my family. I wasn't with my family. And I think, to me, that's significant. Like, I wasn't with them on New Year's.
Where were you?
I was with some friends. Dumb. Fell asleep. I fell asleep at like 11. I really wanted to. I feel like that makes a difference. Like, I need to be walking into the year with the people who are going to be there forever. And who actually, like, care to see me grow, and the ones who actually support me every single day. Not that my friends don't matter, but the real ones. The ride or dies.
Yeah,
I need to surround myself with good energy and high vibrations walking into the year, not low vibrations.
I wasn't with my family either last year, and this year I'll be with my baby. Happy birthday, Brody. And my mom and my uncle. So yes, I'm very excited for that. And I'm excited for this new year. See what it brings to us. We have our vision board for the podcast.
Yes, our lovely vision board. Y'all can't even see it, but we got some great ideas coming, some hopefully great interviews coming, and just growth. I just want to grow and keep growing. I'm still young, so I still got a lot to learn.
Yes, that's one thing I was going to say. We're so young. Like, we'll probably see stuff circle back around when we're older. And
man,
we'll see. Man. Full circle, for real.
Yeah.
All the apologies. No, I'm just playing. For real. But for real though, we need all them apologies.
For real. And I feel like how we always say we outcast, like, I feel like so many times we're just watching people not reach success like it's a bad thing, like, dang, why not me? But I truly have this feeling like it's gonna come, like, it's gonna start to flow.
Divine timing, for real.
It'll happen when it's meant to happen, but I have a feeling that.
And there's a reason that it hasn't happened yet.
It's not our time. We're not ready, I think. We're young. We're still figuring it out. We got to figure ourselves out before life gets figured out. Period. I was talking to my uncle about that. Like, we can't look for a partner or whatever until we get ourselves together.
Yep, and you can't rush the process.
Nah, definitely not. Just gotta accept and flow. Period. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this lovely reflection we had of 2022 and preparation for 2023, because we all need it. Y'all got to reflect too. Maybe journal a few things that y'all learned this year so you can learn from it and do better next year.
Yep. And it's all about the application. All Facts. The things that you learned in 2022, how are you going to apply that in 2023? How are you going to grow from it? And if the application is there, then you will see success come your way.
Period. Dedication. Anyway, make sure y'all follow the social media. It's going to be linked in the description box. I should probably say this at the beginning of the videos. Subscribe, like, comment, all that, and keep supporting us through this new year.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.